a man learned something terrifying in the consultation room. He had clearly arrived at the hospital with his wife and daughter, but when he woke up, he was told that he had been alone the entire time. To find his missing wife and daughter, he called in detectives to help him search. They prepared to head to the examination room the doctor mentioned, but what no one expected was that the examination room was on the 3rd floor. The doctor showed everyone the admission records. There was indeed no information about any child, but even with such obvious evidence right in front of him, Kevin still refused to believe it was true.
You can see this, right? Yeah, she wasn't here because they never brought her here. She didn't have a CAT scan, they just took her somewhere else.
Where?
You're the detective, you figure it out. I just know that there's something wrong with this place.
Kevin's barely concealed anxiety finally caught the detectives' attention. They requested the hospital's cooperation to pull up the surveillance footage, planning to use the video to uncover the truth. However, Kevin never anticipated that after everyone watched the footage, they would conclude he was the only person in the car. Just like that, even the detectives helping Kevin began to waver. They believed his severe injuries had caused him to hallucinate. The doctor was also fanning the flames nearby, saying he had already contacted a counselor and planned to use psychological therapy to help Kevin recover his correct memories. Kevin didn't want to go along with it, but he had no choice. Suddenly, he noticed a scarf under one of the hospital beds. After checking it repeatedly, Kevin confirmed it was the one his daughter had lost. At that moment, his conviction grew even stronger. He told the detectives this was the evidence, and that the hospital had been hiding something all along, as if they were trying to cover something up. Just as Kevin was holding the scarf and thinking of his daughter, the counselor walked over to him. After a guided conversation, he said the sinkhole Kevin mentioned might be the key to uncovering the whole truth. Before long, the detectives drove to the accident site. After conducting a thorough search, they discovered something strange. Beneath the clean sandy surface, there was a patch of dark red bloodstains buried underneath. Such a large amount of blood clearly couldn't have come from a minor injury.
This is a crime scene now. Go call the CSI unit.
Seeing things take a serious turn, Kevin panicked on the spot. He kept pushing the blame onto the hospital. He also said he threw the rock earlier because he was afraid a wild dog would attack his daughter. Besides, the child wasn't even bleeding at the time, and all of this was a trap set by the hospital to cover up some kind of conspiracy.
Are you sure there was a dog? There was no dog. You were upset at your daughter, angry at your wife, so you picked up a rock.
Kevin's mind was violently shaken. He was now listed as a suspect, and would soon be taken to the station for questioning. However, just as they were about to leave, he suddenly heard a cry coming from the sinkhole. He looked toward the sound, and immediately recognized it as the dog from that morning. At that moment, Kevin's mind snapped back to clarity. He caught the detective off guard and grabbed his weapon. Then he took the counselor hostage, demanding everyone drop their weapons immediately. Kevin then unleashed his rage on the counselor, accusing him of deliberately trying to cloud his judgment. He also demanded the counselor hand over his access card, and locked everyone inside a shipping container. Now fully convinced of his own conclusions, Kevin floored the gas pedal, and raced back to the hospital. He first used the counselor's access card to unlock the door, then made his way deeper into the hospital. He grabbed a doctor's coat to disguise himself, and stepped into the elevator. But when Kevin looked at the elevator panel, he realized he needed a key to reach basement level 2. Completely unprepared, he didn't know what to do, but fate was on his side. The next second, a familiar face appeared right before him. Kevin cornered the security guard against the wall. The guard was too scared to even breathe, and could only raise his hands, offering to trade Kevin's wife and daughter for his own life. To show his sincerity, he offered Kevin a key. Using his size advantage, Kevin easily took down the security guard, and successfully made it to basement level 2. But the moment he stepped out of the elevator, a blue bag caught his eye. Seeing something moving inside, he couldn't help but reach out and lift the cover. It turned out to be just a cute toy, the same little gift his daughter had received that morning. Suddenly, 2 nurses emerged from a nearby room. Kevin watched carefully from the shadows, and noticed that their cart was carrying organ preservation containers. This place was clearly not as innocent as it seemed. Soon, Kevin followed the path those 2 had taken, and found the room they had come from, but what he saw inside made his blood run cold. He was looking at bodies that were nothing but empty shells, all their organs gone. He feared his family had met the same fate. Just then, a woman walked by carrying a cold storage container. Kevin immediately followed her. He trailed her all the way to a room in the deepest part of the facility. Through the window, he saw 3 surgeons performing an organ removal procedure. After confirming their target was his daughter, Kevin burst into the room with his weapon drawn, ordering everyone to line up against the wall and show their faces.
Don't do this.
But at that moment, Kevin couldn't care less about what the doctors were saying. He only focused on checking his daughter's condition. Then he rushed over to his wife, trying to wake her up. Just as he was about to escape with his family, a female assistant ran toward a panel to send out a distress signal. Kevin fired a shot that severed the oxygen pipe, and warned everyone not to provoke him further. But his threats were useless. The moment he turned around, a man quietly approached from behind, and forcefully dragged him back. Then the others joined the fight, pinning down Kevin's arms and legs, trying to inject him with another sedative. Kevin pushed through the pressure and managed to reclaim his weapon. He fired and shattered the lights. In an instant, flames engulfed everyone. After overcoming countless obstacles, Kevin successfully rescued his wife and daughter from the villains. Finally at ease, he prepared to drive his family away from this place. But the most shocking part of the film was just beginning. Through the rearview mirror, it became clear that there was no wife or child in the back seat, only a man on the verge of death. As the story reached its end, all the questions finally had answers. In Kevin's perception, everything he saw as reality was false, and the counselor's theory was completely correct. Back when Kevin's child fell into the sinkhole that morning, she had already lost her life. Unable to accept this cruel reality, Kevin accidentally pushed his wife, causing her to be impaled by a steel rod. Kevin lost both his daughter and his wife. Overwhelmed by unbearable grief, Kevin's mind shattered. The two most important people in his life had been hidden in the trunk of his car the entire time.